Shridhara. No, Vishnu. Namaste, Saraswati. Guru. Nirvisesha Shunya. Stop. Swim. Tada. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrī Bhagavān uvaca Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana. Śrīmad Bhagavad Gita 7.26. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana. Śrī Bhagavān. Bhagavan is speaking. He's saying Bhagavan is mentioned. Mūḍhas does not know him. Even though he's present everywhere, mūḍhas cannot see him. And because they're covered by Yoga-māyā. And then Bhagavan is saying, I know everything and everyone. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni, O Arjuna, and bhaviṣyāṇi also. I know the past, I know the present, and I know the future. Ca bhūtāni, I know all living entities. Mam tu veda na kaścana, but nobody knows me. So the Lord is clearly demarcating his position when compared to the position of the rest of the jīvas. Position of the jīvas. So those who think, the mūḍhas who think the Lord, the Paramasatyam is now as a person because it is touched by modes. So this person Satyam is of a lesser value. Those who think like that, they are mūḍhas because the Paramasatyam, though it is manifesting as a person Satyam, in the form of a person cannot be touched by the moods. Cannot be touched by the moods. The jivas are touched by the moods, but not the Param Satyam, not the Bhagavan. And the second thing the Lord said was, the Bhagavat Tattva, the Parama Satyam, is inexhaustible. Inexhaustible, unchanging and inexhaustible. And the Bhagavat Tattva, Bhagavan, is present everywhere. Everywhere and indestructible. That's Bhagavat Tattva. Just because Jiva cannot see, it doesn't mean that Bhagavan is not there. So Bhagavan is present everywhere, but cannot be seen by Jiva. Jiva is dependent on Bhagavan, even to see Bhagavan. Unless Bhagavan is lifting the curtain, Jiva cannot see him. So this is again distinction between Jiva Tattva and Bhagavat Tattva. According to Mayavadis, I can become God. And God says here, no, you are Jiva, I am Bhagavan. Even if they are merging in Bhagavan, it is because Bhagavan has allowed to do so. The Jiva is dependent on Bhagavan. So though Bhagavan is present everywhere, the Jiva cannot see until Bhagavan allows the Jiva to do so. That's Bhagavat Tattva. And now Bhagavan is saying, I know everything, the present, the past, and the future, and all the living entities. But nobody knows me. In other words, living entities cannot do what I'm doing. Living entities are not in the place where I am. So how can a living entity become me? How can I be touched by moods? So, like that. Bhagwan cannot be seen without him removing the curtain of Yoga-māyā. And Jiva cannot know Bhagavan. Jiva cannot. Bhagavan knows Jiva, but Jiva cannot know Bhagavan. Bhagavan knows present, past, and future, but Jiva does not. You know, in the Ashtanga Yoga, when I quiet once when I quiet when anyone acquires siddhi, then they will be able to see some present, they will be able to see some past and the future. They will be able to. And that siddhi is because, that siddhi comes because the Lord has that ability, quality to be able to see through like this. So if Jiva is getting a little bit of that siddhi, it is because the Lord has it, and it is because the Lord allows the Jiva to have a little bit of it. In that way also, Jiva is dependent on Bhagavan. Even if the Jiva has a little bit of that siddhi, it is only a fraction of what Bhagavan has. It cannot have the whole thing as Bhagavan. Bhagavan has this samvit shakti, the cognizance, unlimited, infinite, unconditional cognizance. But a Jiva, even though if it acquires siddhi, it can get this capacity only to a limited extent. Like that. So, in all the ways, the Jiva is dependent on Bhagavan. dependent on Bhagavan. That is the constitutional position of the jīva. Even to know Bhagavan, jīva is dependent. Even to have the darshan of Bhagavan, Yoga-māyā, samavrata, jīva is dependent. Jīva is dependent like that on the Lord. That is the reality. It's dependent on the Lord. Jīva is the bharta, and the Lord is the bharta. Bhagavan is bharta, and jīva is bhritya. Bhritya is dependent. Bharta is the maintainer. So one who sees this fact, oh, I am dependent on Bhagavan. When seeing that fact, one who realizes that, then they voluntarily place their free will. Give their free will to Bhagavan. They see that they exist because Bhagavan exists. They see that their joy is in Bhagavan's joy. That's why they just hand over that free will to Bhagavan. So living in reality, seeing that we are dependent on Kṛṣṇa for our existence. And for our very existence, we are dependent on the Lord. We are dependent on the mercy. Dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And the mercy of the Lord comes through mercy of Śrī Guru. The Lord is present everywhere. But He's manifested. He's manifested by the mercy of Guru. Like for Prahlada, Lord Dhruva, the Lord was present everywhere. Lord was present even when Dhruva was hissing like a snake in the palace, but he could not see the Lord. And only after Narada Muni said, okay, you go to the forest and you do the tapasya like this and do this mantra, and then you will see the God. So the Lord was made manifest by Sri Narada Muni, so Dhruva could see. So Jīva is dependent on Bhagavan, but very much dependent on the Bhagavata, who can made Bhagavan manifest. On the Bhagavata who can make Bhagavan manifest. See, this is Svayam Eva Spuratyada. Bhagavan has to manifest. Bhagavan has to give darshan. When we are dependent on the Bhagavata, then Bhagavan manifests and the shelter is given. How do we know that there is dependency, or we are imagining? In dependency, there is gravity in Bhakti. There is no chaos in mind. And the Jīva is living in reality, so it is humble. It clearly sees that it's dependent on the mercy. So the gravity is there, the humility is there, and the Jīva is living in the reality. Oh, I am dependent on Guru for Kṛṣṇa to manifest. So in that state, there is no chaos in the mind. There is only gravity in the chitta. Like that. Sharanagati bhakta mukhya lakshana. This is how one is known to be a bhakta, when one has this quality, dependence. That's when one is known as bhakta, because that's when Bhagwan is made manifest. That's when the bhakti starts. Before that it is all look-alike of bhakti. That bhakti is not of gravity when there is no dependence, not of great substance. That's why that's called a shadow bhakti. So dependence on Guru for Kṛṣṇa to manifest. Sharanagati bhakta mukhya lakshana. So like that, the Bhritya is dependent on Bharta. Dependent. Beautifully dependent.